And past transactions there actually only 5,009.
Yeah.
Top price.
How do you hit 9?
Top price in the whole district.
You can hit 9 actually.
Right.
I tell you the secret to hit 9. Welcome to our second episode of the Lease It series, where we share with you guys some horror stories and also some of the stories of how we are able to hit the top transaction when it comes to leasing, right?
Yes.
Today we have none other than Lucas with us, and he's our team lead of leasing. We started a leasing team. Please go to the previous video and you can watch it. I think the title of the video is we did not want to start a leasing team, right? And today we have none other than Lucas, because we're going to share with you one of the particular unit in a development, they're just TOP with crazy competition. So if you're an owner who is facing challenges in leasing a unit because it's a newly TOP unit, right? This is going to be the video you have to watch, because we're going to share with you how we leased it out, how we had road noise, west sun, construction noise, we still leased it out. And the best thing happened is that we leased it more than $1,000 more in the next transaction, right? How did we do it? So we're going to share with you the secrets here. Yep. But of course, do the customary. If you have yet to follow, subscribe, or join our Telegram channel, please join our Telegram channel. It's going to be here. Press the subscribe button below. If you have any inquiries about leasing, right, you can just scan a QR code. Our client care executive, J. is going to contact you. And if you are a tenant who is looking to find that guidebook as to what you should do, now we are trying to build some relationship with our tenants as well, then please scan the QR code. We're going to send you a step-by-step process as to what you should take note of when you're a tenant. And of course, landlord, right? If you're thinking, what is the price to lease my unit out? Today's video is going to be about that, how we do our price analysis, right? Scan the QR code and just fill in the details with your unit number. What's going to happen is that I'm going to share with you exactly how much your unit should be rented at and what price. Not 100% accuracy, of course. No one is God, right? But 90% accuracy for now. Okay? So Lucas, tell me, today we're talking about this unit at Treasure at Tampines. This is one of my favorite clients because this client followed me when they had their HDB till they invested in 2 4-bedroom condominiums. They sold both 4-bedroom condominiums. They profited more than $1 million. They leased it out with us because they haven't reached SSD. They entered into a CCR property now, and they are, wow, their investment portfolio is big. I'm not going to say their name because they don't want to they're quite influential now. I'm not going to say their name, but they have very, very good businesses, okay? So tell me a little bit more. When we first gave you that leasing unit, right, at Treasure at Tampines, what were some of the challenges faced and how you turn it around?
Okay, as with all new launch condos, like before key collection, you don't have an actual unit to go down. You don't have an actual unit to go down. You can only use developer photo. If you go on Property Guru, you'll see units being rented out, but it's all the developer. Everyone's listing the same.
Not units rented out, units that are looking to rent.
Yeah, looking to rent.
Yeah, all the developer photos.
Yeah. All look the same.
Sometimes got some scam photos from other developments also.
Sometimes, yes.
Yes.
So what's the differentiating point then? It's only just price only.
Yeah, lor.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you are the first one to list, you are going to be able to dictate
the price.
Everyone else. Because if you list $10,000, everyone will just list around your price.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful again for the landlords, to our clients.
Our top clients.
Yeah.
Because you trust us, and that's why you always hit record price.
Yes. They trusted our research, they trusted our team, and they actually followed us instead of the listing price. It's so hard to do it.
Yes.
You imagine your neighbor listing...
Hey, chill.
Imagine your neighbor listing $9,000. I ask you to list at $7,000.
You'll be like, what? You crazy? Right? And the landlord saying, you know what? We have experienced it over 5 years. We know you get us the top price. And we never once disappointed them.
Yes.
We love this client. Okay. And yeah, we have the interest at heart, right? So what were the challenges? I mean, you started leasing it out when it was a vacant unit, right? I mean, we took keys already, right? Remember, right? The wires were hanging everywhere.
Yes.
You saw the highway. We entered because it was a very good entry price.
Yeah.
And I wasn't worried about road noise. We made great profits. I think we made one of the highest profits in Treasure at Tampines.
Yes.
But yeah, tell me more. Like, you entered and then you're like...
So entered, first day, then...
Not wow, it's
My OCD-ness kicked in. I say,
wanted to go buy lights.
Mr. Klein, here got defect, here got defect.
She's the uncle defect.
And paste.
Yeah. You paste yourself, right?
Yeah.
So funny, this guy. Yeah, you pasted. And then started cleaning the sink a bit because it was dusty.
Actually, yeah.
Yes, right? I would imagine.
So, of course, we had to take photos.
Yeah.
First day we went in.
Yeah.
We wanted to get the marketing out as fast as possible because
Yeah.
people starting to get the key already.
And the competition comes. And actually, our worry is not that people list high price. It's that people list lowball their price.
Yeah.
Then we cannot hit the price that we want. And this client received positive cash flow.
Yes. So thankfully, the first person who listed very high.
Yes.
At $9,000.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. So we anchored a more realistic price, looking at the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Like we took Q from like Q Bay
Yes.
and the Tapestry
Yes.
and Riverfront Residences.
Yes, we look at all their rental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the past transactions there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And past transactions there actually only 5,009
Yeah.
top price.
How do you hit 9?
Top price in the whole district.
You can hit 9 actually.
Right.
I tell you the secret to hit 9. Do a 150k renovation on your house. Provide free breakfast, cleaning services,
Even
and a
that.
massage service. Even that may not even hit 9k, I think. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so after we took the photos, no furniture ma. It's unfinished. It's an unfurnished unit, no lighting, no furniture.
So I respect this guy.
No fridge.
He told me the price. I remember we told the owner, take it. Just take it.
Yes.
He said, you sure no? First viewing. I said, sure. He said, I believe you all lah. Take. Wow, Javis, the other transactions all way lower than ours. That's why the tenant wasn't very happy last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, we settled at 6,500. We're the first 4-bedroom to be rented out.
Until now, still don't have lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there was another unit that rented out at 6,500 eventually. But that guy waited 6 months.
Yeah, before you go to the tenant, we did it in the first viewing.
Yes.
There was 0 lag time. But owners earned very nice profits of their units through cash flow, positive cash flow, and then close to 600 plus 700k for their profit.
Yeah.
So tell me, bring me through a bit of the challenges. So we saw the lights that were hanging. We saw that the unit was dusty. There were a lot of defects, as per all TOP units.
Yeah.
I tell you, defects, right? You really need a meticulous eye. When I entered Maya Mansion, which is my house, I felt there was no defects. I was one of the first few owners to go in. Lucas started going in, pinpointing defects. I was like, oh, damn, there was a defect there. And Uncle Defects then came in and put like almost 1,000 stickers.
Yeah.
Then my whole house was blue, right? And even our photo, right, when we smile, it's all blue stickers, right? So, besides the defects, what other challenges you face and the pricing? What other challenges you face?
So the defects, the cleanliness, the furnishing, all that can be fixed on.
Yes.
No problem.
Yes.
With time, with effort, with money,
Yes.
Wow.
The west side
one of the rooms had west sun.
Yes. As per all the 4-bedroom stack there. Lah.
Yeah, when I walked in, it's like, wow, so
hot.
hot there.
Amber Park.
So hot. And then the other thing is the other facing, the non-west facing one is facing the road.
Yeah.
So it's either you're facing the road or facing the sun.
That's right. Lovely.
Oh, you're one side noisy, one side hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all this I have to take in mind.
As an objection,
Yeah.
tenants will come in with.
I knew the tenants would come in with
Yes.
these kind of objections.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after taking up the unit, what was done?
So we took photos of the vacant unit,
Yep.
right? We virtually staged the place.
Yes.
So we couldn't bring in furniture immediately.
We're an
because
AI-enabled team.
Yeah. And there is a time to bring in furniture. There's a time to choose not to bring in furniture. Yeah.
Because imagine if you bring furniture, you have to rent it at least for one month, right? At least, actually usually it's 3 months lah, but we have a good relationship with our staging company. They are okay and they're very flexible with us because of the volume of transactions we bring them.
Yeah.
But 1 month of rent, you did it in 1 day leh. So if it's 1 month, it's wasted money it's all about margins, right? It's all about margins, right? Okay, so you did a virtual staging and then after that, what did you do?
So we did a virtual staging, we marketed the unit, and we marketed, of course, as many portals as possible.
Yes. And all our portals also lah, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I think definitely there was some cleaning that you definitely would have done.
Yeah.
Knowing your OCD-ness to make sure your unit was great.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
And of course, choosing the right time to view the house.
Yes.
Don't view it like at the hottest time of the day. Of course, I was
No lights some more, then how?
Yeah, no light. So morning will be the best time.
Yeah lah.
Yeah, morning, the east sun is on the opposite side.
Yes.
It's not that we are dishonest about the
Yes.
unit.
Yes.
I eventually still told the tenant about the west sun facing room.
Yes.
But of course, I had also preempted the landlord that honestly, the tenants are going to live in this place.
Yes.
Let's give them the option of installing solar film for them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So solar film, ceiling fan. So all these are not installed yet.
Yes.
Some landlords will just let the tenant install themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have to think from the heart of the tenant as
That's
well.
right.
If you want it to be fast, right?
Yeah.
So all these things, when the tenant mentioned to me, I was already prepared because I already anticipated. I already told the landlord, and I told them, okay, it's okay. The landlord will be installing solar film for you.
Yeah. Which is cheap. It's just a small panel, right? And I truly believe that no matter who we represent, yes, if we represent landlord, we care about landlord interest. We represent tenant, we care about tenant interest. We represent buyers, we care about buyers' interest. We represent sellers, we care about sellers' interest. But in no way should we ever lie
Yeah.
you know, in any situations because it's just being a human, right? But we will find ways to objection handle.
Yeah.
We'll find ways to be able to provide solutions there's a win-win for both landlords and tenants, which in the end it was, right? Not really so that the tenant paid the highest price, but those living needs were all accommodated for nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feeling that you gave them.
Yeah. To be fair, when I achieved 6,500, I had anticipated that the following units would be able to
Hit the same price,
reach
right?
about the same price
Yeah.
using my price as the leverage.
Yes.
Right. But it was surprising that after that was like 5,003, 5,004.
Yes. There's one thing that we learned is that even a small improvement of the photo in leasing, because people don't really care, right?
Yeah.
It attracted the best pool of tenants to us, right? But of course, there were post-service, right? I remember there were some challenges that we had to face. That we faced as a tenant lah,
Yeah.
because our SSD has reached, listing team came in to sell the unit, right? How was the experience like, if you recall? And what did we do properly to manage to win? Maybe we lost some battles, but we won the war in selling the unit off for the landlord, because the tenants didn't even allow viewings.
Yeah.
Only once in a very weird time.
Yeah.
in a month, right? Which is, can you imagine asking all the buyers to wait until that day? And the landlord said, it's my house, right?
So the tenant was a bit sensitive that the landlord wanted to sell the place. So they were like, why do you want to sell? Like, is it we are not good tenants?
Yeah.
Like, it was not even about them actually. Yeah. So I spoke to them. I said, hey, no lah, it's just the time to sell.
Yeah.
Right. And they are okay to sell with tenancy. So don't worry. Right? There's only a change of landlord, but you will still be able to stay to the end of your lease. It's no problem. Yeah. So after talking to them and seeking understanding, then of course they start to allow viewings like once a week.
Yeah.
Of course, there were a few challenges because they have kids. Right? We rented, it's a 4-bedroom, so naturally we rent to families. Yeah. And so it's also to be understanding of the tenant situation. You know, they let us show the unit. Of course, we give some leeway. We can't make them go and clean up their whole house just for that one day. So it's a give and take.
And eventually I knew that the listing team faced a few more challenges with the tenant, which we managed to mitigate it, managed to talk to them nicely about it with the leasing team and listing team coming together. That's the beauty of working in teams is like this, right? One owner, one landlord is being served by multiple teams, right? And people ask us, then how's your profit margin? You must be charging above. No, I think we're undercharging. Yeah, that's why you don't see us making tons of money. But actually putting the client's interest first is what we always hope to have. Because we believe in the word of mouth referrals that come after that with a great service, right? And it's just our burden that we came here into this market to not only be objective in our investments, but be operational excellent in selling and also now leasing, right? I think one of the biggest lessons that we learned from this was that moving forward in all our tenancy clause, we will include specific leeway for viewing when everything is nice. Before they say it's not in contract, what? Right? And it's true it's not in contract, but we expected people to be reasonable. But like what you say, sometimes a good landlord agent is not someone who is just able to fight all the way with the landlord. He's able to lose some battles, but he's able to win the war by understanding the perspective, the perspective and the feeling of the tenant, empathize with the tenant. And with that, the tenant, one of the biggest pain point of tenants, right? If a tenant watching out there is, can I trust this agent or not? Hey, can I trust this landlord or not? Will they mark up my money or not? And they start living in tenterhooks. That's why they get very defensive. But the moment you are able to feel for the tenant, and like what I said in the previous video, Lucas is like a sponge, right? You can have empathy for the landlord and the tenant. This is when you know you can mitigate and find a win-win solution for both parties. And usually the win-win is a great staying experience for the tenant and a great price for the landlord, right? Any last things you want to talk about this particular unit?
So even though we are protected by the tenancy agreement, usually it's really our last resort that we want to throw this in the tenant's face and say, enforce. Most of the time we will still try to empathize, try to understand and seek mutual understanding from both sides so that we can get this through as much as possible. But of course, when push comes to shove,
then no choice.
Then of course we have to protect our tenant.
We
protect our landlord. Protect our tenant.
Depending on who we represent. Great. Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is, okay, this particular unit, there are a few things that we all can learn. Whether you're a realtor watching this, wondering why you can't lease your unit out because it's a TOP unit, or most importantly, let's say you're a landlord, wondering why you cannot lease. We're seeing so many units that are still vacant. We hope that you can reach out to us. So send a QR code over here and let us just solve this problem for you, right? Scan a QR code over here, connect JDot, we're going to solve the problem for you. And one thing that I learned is, number one, make sure that the unit is clean, tidy, so that the place, even there's nothing to tidy up, make sure that, you clean it up so that the viewing experience is great. Make sure that we touch up just a little bit of things so that the tenant will feel comfortable coming in. Number two, make sure that you identify the right pricing. Sometimes following the crowd herd mentality is not the best. That's why some units are still stuck and they can't rent out, right? And third thing that you mentioned is also sometimes it's good to always be on the middle ground to empathize both tenant and landlord, right? Because the post-servicing is also important, which is point 4.
Yes.
Right? If the post-servicing is not done right, tenants can make the selling process very tough. And most of these landlords, TOP1, they're renting it out. They're looking to sell one. They're not looking just to rent it out, right? So having a team that protects both tenant and landlord interests is also important.
Yes.
Right? Any other things to say?
No.
No more? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Lease It series. As mentioned, customarily, go and subscribe, like, share with your friends. If you know of any landlord that's struggling, right, just send it over our way. You know, we just have a non-obligatory chat so that we can see how we can help them, right? And of course, we don't take out every single case because we also need to choose the battles that we want to fight, right? Because there's some cases that's really, really tough. But I promise you that we will listen to every single case with attentive ear to see whether we can come together to a consensus and partner with one another, the landlord and us, our leasing team, to provide them a great service, right? So as mentioned at the start of the video, if you're a tenant wondering what is the step-by-step process to safeguard your interest, there's going to be a QR code over here. Just scan the QR code and it's going to be here. If you are a landlord that's wondering what is the top price I can hit, or you just want a responsible team that works together as one team to serve your interest for the next 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, hopefully we'll stay around after 400 years, but 400 years and Singapore is still around, then you can scan the QR code and we can send you the information as to what we do. Number 2, what is the highest price your unit can hit. Okay? Thank you so much. My name is Jervis.
My name's Lucas.
And welcome. And thank you so much for watching this episode of the Lease It series. This is a new sign. Thank you.
Are we doing
Bye-bye.
this?
I think so. Bye-bye. See you guys.